human beings are unable to ever gain any monopoly on truth, capital T. We might have access to truth, small t, but they're fallible claims about truth. We could be wrong, but to be open to revision and so on. So there is a certain kind of mystery that goes hand in hand with truth. This is why so many of the existential thinkers, be they religious like Meister Eckhart or Paul Tillich, or be they secular like Camus and Sartre, that they're accenting our finitude and our inability to fully grasp the ultimate nature, reality, the truth about things. And therefore you talk about truth being tied to the way to truth. Because once you give up on the notion of fully grasping the way the world is, you're going to talk about what are the ways in which I can sustain my quest for truth. How do you sustain a journey, a path toward truth, the way to truth? So the truth talk goes hand in hand with talk about the way to truth. And scientists could talk about this in terms of, adducing evidence and drawing reliable conclusions and so forth and so on. Religious folk could talk about this in terms of surrendering one's arrogance and pride in the face of divine revelation and what have you. But there are all ways of acknowledging our finitude and our fallibility. I want all of the rich historical colorations to be manifest in talking about our finitude. Being born of a woman in stank and stench, what I'd call funk. Being introduced to the funk of life in the womb and the love push that gets you out. Well, see, that's the raw, funky, stanky stuff of life. That's what bluesmen did. That's what jazzmen did. See, I'm a blues man in the life of the mind. I'm a jazz man in a world of ideas. Therefore, for me, music is central. So when you're talking about poetry, for the most part, Plato is talking primarily about words. Whereas I talk about notes, I talk about tone, I talk about tempo, I talk about rhythms. See, for me, music is fundamental. Philosophy must go to school not only with the poets, philosophy needs to go to school with the musicians. Keep in mind, Plato bans the flute in the Republic, but not the lyre. Why? Because the flute appeals to all of these various sides of who we are, given his tripartite conception of the soul. The rational and the spirited and the appetitive. And the flute appeals to all three of those. Where he thinks the lyre with one string only appeals to one, and therefore is permissible. Now, of course, the irony is when Plato was on his deathbed, what did he do? Well, he requested a Thracian girl to play music on the flute. Beethoven said on his deathbed, said, I've learned to look at the world in all of its darkness and evil and still love it. This is where Chekhov begins. This is where the blues starts. This is where jazz starts. You think Charlie Parker's upset because he can't sustain a harmony? He doesn't care about the harmony. He's trying to completely ride on the dissonance, ride on the blue notes. Of course, he's got harmony in terms of interventions here and there. But why start with this obsession with wholeness, and if you can't have it, then you're disappointed and want to have a drink and melancholia, blah, 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 blah. No, you see, the blues, my kind of blues, begins with catastrophe, begins with the angel of history and Benjamin's thesis. You see, it begins with the pile of wreckage on one pile on another. That's the starting point. The blues is personal catastrophe lyrically expressed. And black people in America and in the modern world, given these vicious legacies of white supremacy, it is how do you generate an elegance of earned self-togetherness so that you have a stick-to-itness in the face of the catastrophic and the calamitous and the horrendous and the scandalous and the monstrous. See, part of the problem, though, is that, when you have a romantic project, you're so obsessed with time as loss and time as a taker. Whereas as a Jacobian Christian, I want to stress as well time as a gift, time as a giver. So that, yes, it's failure, but, how good is the failure? You've done some wonderful things. Now, Becca could say, try again, fail better. But why call it failure? Why not say you have a sense of gratitude that you're able to do as much as you did? You're able to love as much, think as much, and play as much. Why think you needed the whole thing? You see what I mean? This is even disturbing about America. And of course, America is a romantic project. It's Paradiso, City on the Hill, and all this other mess and lies and so on. I said, no, America's a very fragile democratic experiment predicated on dispossession of the lands of indigenous peoples and the enslavement of African peoples and the subjugation of women, the marginalization of gays and lesbians. That it has great potential, but this notion that somehow, we had it all or ever will have it all, it's got to go. You got to push it to the side. And once you push all that to the side, then it tends to evacuate the language of disappointment and the language of failure. And you say, okay, well, how much have we done? How have we been able to do it? Can we do more? Well, in certain situations, you can do more. It's like trying to break dance at 75. You can't do it anymore. You are a master at 16. It's over, 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 over.